Tell us about yourself. Tell us about Dan Mark. And how did you even come up with Mystery Modern Mark?
That's the hardest question. Somebody asked me, tell me about yourself. I'm me. Sorry.
You're
No.
you. Okay. Okay.
No, I am. My name is Daniel. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jima. That's my name. I'm half Ghanaian, half Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
I live in the Netherlands. What else? Yeah, I'm a fragrant freak. I love perfume. I love everything that's got to do with perfume.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the owner of the creative director behind Mystery Modern Mark as a brand. Yeah, but Mystery Modern Mark, the name. People ask me that question a lot. Like, why did you get the name Mystery Modern Mark? Because is it because of the M's that starts with it? I was doing a master's study in a city here in Den Haag. It's called Den Haag. So
Mm-hmm.
on one of those days, I was with a couple of friends, and we were coming back for the next lecture. And one of those guys, one of my friends, there was a lady. She was beautiful, very pretty woman. So she
Mm-hmm.
was walking by, and my friend was like, "You, Daniel, that seems like your type, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there she is.
Hi
Hi, Carretera."
everyone. Can you hear
No,
me?
go ahead. Continue. Continue. We can hear you. Continue.
Okay.
So like, my friend was like, "She looks like your type," and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Bro, man, I'm thinking of the next lecture, because we've got exams coming up." So
Right.
one thing that I was very attractive about her was she's pretty. I wouldn't lie, but the fragrance that she was wearing at that moment was so nice. So I actually wanted to approach her and say that, "Oh, lady, you smell good," but
Mm-hmm.
friends were there. They'd be like, "Yeah, you're trying to take a shot at that." So I was like,
Right.
"You know what?
Right.
Let this slip by." So after a couple of months, I wanted to get a friend a birthday gift, but it was a fragrance that I wanted to get her. So I walked into the
Mm-hmm.
shop and I was just trying fragrances, and there was just this one that I was like, I know this fragrance from somewhere. It's so
Mm-hmm.
familiar, but where I wasn't getting it. So I was just cogitating, but I ended up buying it for her though. So on my way back home, about 2 minutes, two steps, like 2 minutes to my house, something was like, oh yeah, the lady from uni, she was wearing that
Mm-hmm.
fragrance. So what touched me was that at the back of your mind, or I don't know where it is, there's something like a sponge or a net. Like when you experience something great, something nice, it catches it. So when you get a chance to experience it again, um, it reflects, or you get it back into the memory lane, back in the memory lane. So I was like, okay, then a great fragrance should be mysterious. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That means it leaves a mark on you. So I was like, okay, then I'm going to use my brand to modernize mystery. But mystery is a very old word that has been with us for too long. Everybody knows it. So
Right.
my brand is going to modernize mystery. So mystery now
Mhm.
is a modern way of leaving a mark.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like
Okay.
that. I
So
like that a lot.
mystery
Yes.
modern mark is mystery. So when you
Mm-hmm.
read it, you see mystery, then the comma, there's a comma there, and it comes
Mm-hmm.
modern mark. So mystery is a modern way of leaving a mark.
Yep.
And yeah,
Oh.
like I said, the mark is like an impression, it's like something indelible that is erasable, a good memory, a
Mm-hmm.
good impact, that sort of thing. So that's where I got it from. And I got the name Dan Mark also from that name. So people started calling me, oh, Daniel from Dan Mystery Modern Mark. And I was like, oh, it's a
Mm-hmm.
nice name. Let me adopt it. It's really nice. Dan
I'm
Mark.
a, I'm
So
a, I'm gonna go with that one. Huh?
okay.
Well, actually, I love it. I love it. So let me ask this request before we get deep into it. Uh, as we get into each one of your fragrance, can you elaborate about what it is that gave you that, right? Because I feel that fragrances have a purpose and a reason. Like there's a reason that it was developed. It was an emotion and experience. So
Yeah.
as we go through them and talk about them, can you go into in depth about why it is we have Sentence 360 or Rescent Man or so forth, so on? Like if you could just add those little nitbits in there for me, I think that'd be great.
Okay. Right.
All right.
So
So
go on. I'm
Yellow
listening.
Sense, I know she came on a little bit late. Is there anything you want to talk to him about
Are
it?
you welcome?
Well,
Ah, yeah.
hi Mark, how are you?
Not
Hi
bad.
Claudia.
Hello,
Hi
hello.
everybody. Hi everybody. Sorry I'm late. It's snowing over here and everything is like 5 minute delay. So my apologies.
No worries.
Oh,
That's
no
fine.
problem.
Okay. Can
Okay.
happen.
just one thing. I don't know if Claudia, you already announced it. If anyone has a question, please post it in the comment question mark below. It will be easier for us to see your questions other than scrolling up and down, because we really want to focus on Mark today and learn more about one of my favorite brands and my favorite fragrance.
I'm humble.
So we can
I'm
get
humble
started.
to hear that.
But welcome, Mark, and welcome, everybody.
Thank you. I
Welcome.
appreciate that.
And again, what I did mention, and I mentioned again to everyone who's joining now, if you would like to, I know you're going to hear us talk about it, and I'm going to speak so highly of them. He does have a discovery kit. So if that is one of your questions, he calls it an experience kit. It is on his webpage. And at the end of this, I'll have him announce how you can find it, but you can go to Mystery Modern Mark, the website.com, and you'll be able to get it. And it's a nice size sample. You receive a nice size sample. So it's not a little bitty sample, and it's worth you trying it out. So if you fall in love with it, which we know you will, please go to his website. If you're not ready to jump into a full bottle, then get the experience kit. So where would you like to begin first? What fragrance? I have one, and I had mentioned that the reason why I only have one is because I am having a fight with myself on deciding the other one.
Which one to get next?
Just get all, Claudia, just get all. Let's start with yours, because I've been eager to find out what you got, and Mark wasn't going to tell me, so can we just get that out of the way?
Okay, let's get it out of the way. I got ABSOCUTE. And it is amazing. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's the sample for it just doesn't give it any justice, right? The sample was enough to make me fall in love with it. But when you actually receive it, you get the packaging, and the packaging has changed. And I know that, but when you get it, it's so well done. It's done. It works great. And you know, obviously I'm a collector, so it fits perfectly on my shelf with my other clear bottles. But what makes me fall in love with it is the opening and the heart of the fragrance. It's that coconut, that lemon and coconut. Oh, I just feel like I'm on a tropical paradise. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. And then it's the, like, I have it, I sprayed it. It's the dry down, and that coconut, the tonka bean, and the vanilla stays. The bergamot is like a burst of happiness, right? And then you get this coconut tropical drink type activity. And it smells amazing on skin. So yes, I had it as a sample. I sprayed my sample up. So this is the bottle that I got. This is the one I got.
ABSOCUTE for me, I got it in the summer. When I got this fragrance, the first, because I was taken up by another fragrance that we'll talk about. But this fragrance, I know somebody asked me, what's a good pool scent?
Yeah.
ABSOCUTE. Yeah. What I love most is just that coconut and the tonka bean.
Yes.
It's just perfection. Like this. Mwah. Now the tonka in here, actually, this winter, I found that I can actually wear ABSOCUTE actually shines in the winter, but I found, since Claudia is the queen of layering, I found that if you layer it, if you have commodity tonka or SJPs, any fragrance that has a higher note of tonka, this is beautiful. So I found in the winter that tonka shines more. In the summer, the coconut and the bergamot.
I know, it's gorgeous.
For me. And it's not like a gourmand. It's actually, it's unique.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's not gourmand.
So I liked it, yeah.
So I would love to know, tell us, what was the experience behind this fragrance?
Okay, I'm going to start with my first baby. That's Scentence 360. Okay, that was my first baby. When we were creating that scent, after a bit of training in grass about fragrance and the creation and everything, we were trying to create something that is around my persona. That was the first thing I wanted to cover, because what I learned about is that every perfume has got a persona with it. So if there should be a persona, I should be the first person to have his persona out. So cool, gentle, easy, but deeper, you know, that kind of thing. So we were coordinating notes, putting notes together, and what the inspiration I got was like, you know, when you go to school, they give you a word and like, okay, create a sentence with it. Then you coordinate it with other words to communicate something meaningful. that when you speak, people understand and can relate to what you're saying. So I was like, okay, so when we are creating a fragrance and we are using notes, top, mid, base, we're coordinating notes to create something meaningful that when people smell, they can like that kind of thing. Then it is not a sentence here, but it's a sentence. Right? So if the spelling actually switches a bit, I brought T to make, the scent over there. So it's SCENTENCE, sentence.
Yes.
And the 360 signifies all round, easy to wear, all weather. I mean, that is it. That's it. So that's the inspiration. It's a sentence. Putting those together to communicate a meaningful scent.
Okay. Now, do you have this one, Yellow Scent? I have the sample of it.
So I tried Sentence 360. Dan is laughing because he knows what I did. So Sentence 360, I did have it, but it wasn't mine, I'll be honest. It was for someone who's so special in my life, my father. And I had sent him the sample kit, and it didn't take him long. He was like, first, Africa, if you have an African parent, they don't know about samples, or like the time they're like, well, what is this? So he handed me back my sample, and he was like, call my son and have him send me Sentence 360. So I called Dan. I think I called you late in the night, was it? I don't remember. I called you at an awkward time. I was like, hey, look here. Someone here is desperate and they want this Sentence 360. So Sentence 360, I know the opening has a smoky oud, but it's very well-rounded. I personally found it, it's very calm. I find someone who wears it is very content, well accomplished. They're really not trying to prove anything. They've done it all, and it's definitely the whole 360 is the whole
I have it like
circle.
this. Yeah.
I have samples of it. So unfortunately, I can't show you a bottle, but Dan, I think you have the bottle.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I found with 360, and not to rush to the next fragrance, is that 360, you've accomplished. You really, you're like retired, or you're content. Sorry, I said retired, but it's more for somebody who's not trying too hard or to be. They're just, they are VIP already in their lives, if I can put it that way.
And I felt that way too. I felt 360 when I smelt it, when I got it at the experience kit. And then actually I took 360 and I put both of my samples into a bigger bottle so that I would have it. I loved it on my husband. And it just seems like to me, it's a man that has, like you said, he's found himself, right? He knows who he is. He knows what he wants. He's at his own level or vibration in life. And no one can change it. No one can change it. You can't knock him off because he knows who he is. That is what that fragrance was for me.
Yeah.
So when I go on my dates or whatever, I'm like, my husband said, well, what am I wearing? I'm reaching. I'm trying to find something. Depending on where we're going, that is one of the reach that I have for him. Because I love it on him. It on a male, that in chemistry blend together, it is dynamic. Like it projects confidence. Like you said, it projects confidence off of the guy. Yeah.
Yes, and all the scents are unisex for those who ask. We'll just let you know which ones lean a bit masculine.
Right. Well,
360 is right in the middle, but because it has a smoky and a woody kick to it, I would say you have to be a lady who's into those fragrances. But that's where I find 360.
Yeah.
But, okay. Since
I wanted to reiterate. You are absolutely correct. It is all unisex. It's just the opinion I have is just based on between me and my husband. Who do I like it on? Yeah. Who do I like it on?
Yeah. So Don, since it was your first fragrance, so I'm going to start with your how you got started, right? I remember in one of the lives you talked about a situation where you had applied to all these jobs, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because we talked on the phone and I told you there's something when I met you the first time. You were talking about that moment where you've applied to all these jobs and you're getting nope. Yeah. And you had that mirror moment where everything became clear. to some of our viewers, some of them haven't really found, some of them are questioning why they're actually on social media.
Yeah.
But what made you actually, once you realized that, what helped you push forward to focus on it without questioning, like doubting? I know doubt came in, but what made you just be like, okay, this is it?
Thank you for, I think you bring me back to the memory lane, but you know, it's a long story, but I'm going to keep it short but significant. Okay, I was a lecturer, I was a teacher at a university here, like a private university, but something happened at the school, and I wanted one of the students, I wanted one of the students to apologize for doing that, but something happened and he refused, so I had to like resign and I left the school. So when I became jobless, you know, I wasn't working, but I do a few jobs here and there to, you know, to cater for bills and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was I applied for jobs, went for a lot of interviews, and I applied for 411 jobs.
Okay.
And I went for about, I would say about 30 something interviews, both video and like before the corona and everything. But there was one job, that was my last job, because I just wanted to give up and, you know, just start doing that menial jobs and put my qualification somewhere, you know, and not concentrate on it. So my laptop was sitting right there and I was sitting here in the couch, and something was like, go over there and go on LinkedIn and apply for a job. So when I went there was this recruitment job, and because I'm really much into sales, and I applied for the job. So a couple of days later, they invited me for an interview, and I put on my best of clothes, you know, wearing my perfume, like just going to impress, because I just wanted to get a job. So I walked in, and then the gentleman called me, and and luckily I met the director, the owner of the company. So he sat down with me, we had a conversation, we had an interview, and to tell you what, like I gave my best, like punch every question that was coming, because I could see him smiling here and there. So in my head, I was like, I got in. And he asked of my age, and I told him my age, and he said, you know, I'm looking at your CV right here. You've got loads of experience, but I don't think I'm going to give you this job. I was like, huh? And the company, I'm going to put it, the name is Opus Recruitment. It's one of the biggest UK recruitment jobs. And the owner is Richard Rice. And I said, why? He said, no. If it's money that you're looking for, you've got all it takes to make it. I was like, this guy is crazy. What is that? So I was like,
what does that mean?
So I thought it was a joke. I thought he was joking. I thought he was joking, but he just wanted to pull my legs. So I was like, okay, maybe he's playing with me. So just sit calm. And he said, yeah, can I walk you to the door? I said, really? Okay. And we walked to the door. He said, you know what? One day you're going to look for me and say thank you, but I'm not going to give you the job. So I walked down the stairs, and I went to the bathroom, and I was sharing tears. I was like, God, this thing, I did my best. When? So I look at the mirror and I ask myself, so Daniel, what is your passion? What do you want to do? And the first thing that touched me was fragrance. That was the first thing, because everyone knows me, I love perfume. If I don't wear perfume, even before I sleep, I wear perfume. I just that's my thing. So I was like, okay, I had a few savings, and I flew to France and just talking to people here and there, and they introduced me to a lady, and she was like, it looks you have the vision, I'm going to help you. So she started picking me, training in the fragrances, and we started all these creations and everything, and I'm with the brand, the Mystery Modern Mark. So from 411 jobs to Mystery Modern Mark as a brand. The amazing thing was, I had the name already, because I experienced it before I stepped out of the school when I met the lady. So I had the inspiration Mystery Modern Mark already, but whatever it is for, here I am. So that's the story.
Yeah. Well, I firmly believe what's for you is for you, right? So sometimes you might have your mindset on, okay, I want to be, I don't know, I'll say a nurse. I want to be a nurse or whatever. But you have the analytical mind to be in anything technology.
Yeah.
all forms of technology. You can fight and fight and fight to be what you think you are supposed to be.
Yeah.
But the moment that you just relax and just allow yourself to become like for you to be what you are today, right?
Yeah.
So say you would have gotten that job. I think he saw in you that you wouldn't have stayed, because this is where you may have been great. You might have been good at it, but you are great at what you're doing. So I think he
Exactly.
saw more in you than you saw in yourself. So sometimes it's
Exactly.
that heartbreak before
Yeah.
you actually make it to where you want to be. That's a wonderful story. I
Yeah,
did
it
not
was
know
That
it
is
was
that.
a
it was
wonderful story.
crazy, honestly
Hmm.
speaking. But we after a couple of months when I started the brand and it took off, people like I don't know how it happened, but I don't want to say it's magic. I don't want to say it's luck, but I'm gonna say it's I mean the work of God. Because I was like, when I started, things started moving,
Yes.
and I reached out to the guy on LinkedIn. I said, you said something to me that I'm going to look for you and say thank you. I want to say thank you to you. And he said, what? He asked, where are you? I said, I'm still in Amsterdam. He said, do you want to come to my office for coffee? I said, yeah. We went there, I sat, and I brought my fragrances with me. That time I had Rescent Man and
Oh,
Scentence 360. And he was laughing. He was just laughing. I'm like, Richard, what is it? He said, I want my wife to meet you. And so
Yes.
the wife also came over. We had coffee. We had some sandwiches and everything. And he was telling the wife the story. And the wife was like, yeah, yeah. She was saying a lot, but the guy was really happy for me. And
Yeah.
we still stay in contact every now and then for a cup of coffee and chats. Yeah.
Right.
well, that's
Well, I
good.
mean, it's always the case. Like,
Exactly.
and we can
Yeah.
use Instagram. I am actually quite nervous or always shy, but yet this has made so many things come out in me
Yeah.
on coming on here,
Yeah.
showing my face, actually talking about it, because just like you, I love fragrance. So
Yeah.
everything in me that would make me nervous, make me uncomfortable, goes out the window when I talk about fragrance. It's
Exactly.
like I light up. So yes, I truly do understand. Let's talk about Rescent Man then. Let's move into that one.
Well, you all
Okay.
know that's my favorite.
I know. That's why I wanted to move into it. Oh,
That's
I
recent.
know you, my friend. I know you.
That's recent, man.
Yes.
Okay. The whole inspiration is when we say something is recent, like it just happened, it's current, it's
Hmm.
modern.
Yes.
Um, so
Yes.
if a scent is current, it's modern, that's a recent. So recent man is just for somebody who is current in their choice of scent. And when we were creating that fragrance, my inspiration was to merge East and West.
Hmm.
So the
Okay.
Eastern oud and over here in the West, they like the freshness, they like the rose and everything. So the inspiration I got when during the training was when you put jasmine and rose together, it
Hmm.
is a great. It brings out something different that I want. You just rub it and you get something different. It's a scent that you cannot describe. So I
Hmm.
told the lady that I want that kind of characteristic with this fragrance, Rescent Man. So after everything, I wasn't complete. I still thought there was something that should be attached. And we went for raspberry, we went for other fragrances, but the moment we went for raspberry, put a touch of that note in the mid, I was like, this is what I want. So Rescent Man is somebody who is up to date with their choice of scent.
Hmm.
I mean, the boss. You just don't want to hide your personality. You just walk in and people like, I saw you. Oh,
Yes.
you were here.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And that's a feeling. But I am
Hmm.
more of a Sentence 360 person. Just easy person. But recent man, like you just want people to talk about you. That is
Yes.
what that's it. So that's it.
That's
That's
what
the
I was
whole
going to
name.
say. I was
Yeah.
going to say the same
Uh,
thing. Resent Man is the guy that you like. He's like the bad guy. He's the bad, not the bad guy. I mean, he's bad, but he's the rough around the edges, right? The
Yeah.
one you
uh-huh.
know that you don't want to be with, but he has this like this charisma, right? To him. Yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes.
That's
That
why I
and it's
always
the
make us.
raspberry. It's the raspberry. For me,
It's
it's
a
the raspberry, the
raspberry.
Yeah.
saffron, and the rose. It's it is, but it we're saying man, like it's a man, but it's a person. Because
Hmm.
I wore that one out, I got more compliments. That's one of the ones that I'm fighting with. I got more compliments with that one than I got when I wore ABSOCUTE. ABSOCUTE, it was pretty, right? When I wore it,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, Nyree, you just smells pretty. But this one, they was like, girl. I was like, I know, I am
Oh yeah.
here. That's this one. I have arrived. When you walk in, you get the people are looking around trying to figure
Yeah,
out
that's
who
very
is
true.
that, who smells like that. But I would like Yellow Sense to go into what she thinks. I'm recently falling in love
I
with
think
it.
she's gonna go on and on and on about
Yeah.
serious fragrance.
Okay, I'm going to keep it. Actually, I'm going to be nice, but let me just tell, although it's called Rescent Man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you have watched the show Suits,
Hmm.
if you watched the show Suits, if you haven't
Yeah.
watched it, go watch it. It's free. Harvey, before Harvey got married, the first seasons of it, this is Rescent Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Confusing,
Yes.
captivating. I love this fragrance, and I always say this is actually my signature scent because I feel like it describes the stage that I'm at. I'm not saying I'm captivating and confusing. I'm just saying Rescent
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
This fragrance actually on a lady, I get in the summer I
I do
wasn't
too.
getting many compliments. Some people are like, oh yeah, it's nice, but it's a bit more masculine. But I love that whole incense, but the jasmine and that was a key for me.
Yeah.
And people, if you're hearing me, if you're a guy and you're hearing me, and I'm
Get
not
it.
campaigning, I'm really not campaigning. If you're a guy, actually, if
Yeah.
you're a single guy,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
just wear this
Because
fragrance.
yes, because the married guys, I need you not to wear that one. I need you to wear Sentence
If you're a
360.
married guy and you wear this around me, I swear it wasn't me, okay?
I didn't come here
Because
to
you're
laugh,
in for
but
trouble.
No, it's
No,
okay.
but
That
it's a
that is what
it's a
that is what
sexy
our lives.
fragrance.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it is. That is what
Yeah.
our lives are all about. Is about
Yeah. But
purity, honesty. It is no. It is, and I was scared to tell you, but there is no structure to this. This is
that's good. That's good. I
purity,
like it. I mean,
purity
that's good.
enjoyment. That's all this
But
is purity enjoyment. The
Yeah.
recent man
love
is
of fragrance.
the trouble
But
I get a
recent
lot
man,
from people is like not but like people who wear this. Everyone is talking about recent man. Like they love it.
Yes,
They love
yes,
it. Like it's
it's
different.
amazing.
It's an
Yeah,
amazing
it's
scent.
amazing.
it's totally, and it's an experience with recent man. Actually, when you
Right,
spray when you spray it and you wear sweatpants, you'll go back and get yourself ready. Like it just
right.
puts you in that mood because it's time to go out, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Well, and I'll say this. I want to be honest with everyone. When you first get it, you're gonna get the Gaiac wood, the
Hmm.
Superel, and the incense. Don't stop. Don't stop
Yeah.
at that opening, right? So you're gonna be like, oh my God, they were telling lies or whatever, right? It is entirely too strong. It's whatever it is, whatever. That will pass. And when it passed, it's like it is amazing. It moves into that oud and the saffron and the rose and that
Mm.
raspberry comes in, and it's a wonderful transitioning fragrance. And I love a good transitioning fragrance. It is not one note. It is not wood or gourmand or whatever, right? In the fragrance, you're going through all of the changes as it blends in with your chemistry, and that sandalwood comes in, the amber comes in, and that's sexy musk, not that odorous, right? It's a
Yeah.
sexy musk that is to
Yeah.
it. It's you have to almost be in the fragrance. So if you are a woman or a man, or
Don't
she
worry,
made
to
me
our
laugh.
guys.
No, she made me laugh. She said it is the guy with the gray sweatpants. So to a woman,
Mercy.
yes. Marcy said
Oh
that, yeah,
no.
it's the guy that wears the gray pants, and I promise you, many people are going to understand that. But that is exactly who
Yeah.
this is. But I
And I
will be
like
very honest;
sorry.
it does open woody and
Yeah.
incense.
Hmm.
You do get that, but just hang on in there, and allow it to do the transition.
Yeah.
Hmm. No, I was just going to say about the sillage. It's I know a friend of mine sprayed it, and I was following the sillage, so it leaves a good and a
Yeah,
beautiful one. So that's why I'm saying don't wear it in the office if you don't want people to follow you
right. Yeah,
around, and
yeah,
you might get into a Me Too situation. So
yes.
especially if I work with you. But it's this right here will
Yeah.
get you in trouble. Just remember, captivating and confusing in a good way.
Okay, so before we
This,
talk about the one that I'm the second one that I'm in a fight to buy, I want to retro back. I want to go back to ABSOCUTE. and so that you can give us the experience of executing how did that come up from that beautiful lady that you saw? I think I heard you say that before. You saw this beautiful woman that smelled wonderful. Is that where ABSOCUTE came from?
No.
Okay, well, tell us what
ABSOCUTE,
happened.
Okay.
I was talking to a lady friend of mine, and
Mm-hmm.
I said something, and she was like, she calls me. She has a name that she calls me, but I'm not gonna put it out here. So she's
Okay.
like, okay, let's say, she said, Daniel.
Big mistake.
she was like, she was like, Daniel, do you know that what you just said is absolutely cute?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, huh, that sounds like a name for a fragrance.
Mm.
So I took the absolute and the cuteness and put it together. And when we were creating that fragrance, if you check we have one top note, we have
Mm-hmm.
two mid notes and two base notes.
Yes.
Simplicity, when it's well connected and well understood, can brings about complexity. So we wanted to create something simple but very complex, because the conversation that was going on was a very simple, like a nice conversation that we were having, but it was a very complex. So that was the inspiration I wanted to bring to the fragrance, and like creating something that gives you a feeling of I cannot have enough of you.
Yes.
Yeah. If you were ABSOCUTE, and anyone who's worn that will tell you, when people come closer, they just want to hang around for some time. Like they just want to clinch, they want to get closer. So I just wanted to create something that has gives people that feeling, yes, that I cannot have enough of you sort of thing. And yeah, so ABSOCUTE is absolutely cute put together.
It really is, and yes, it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. That is the one that won the first fight, and I probably will end up with all of them at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of taking my time to figure out where I want to fit into my collection.
Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to reiterate to everyone, if you are in the room and you have questions for Don Mark, please put it in the question mark so that we can ask him. You know, this is your opportunity to actually discuss or ask him any questions about the brand. I want to reiterate again, if you go to his website, if one of your questions is, do he have a discovery set? He calls it an experience kit, and he does have it, and you will get all of them, all four of them as of now, right? Or have you added more? Is it just the four?
In about 2 months or we're dropping a new fragrance. We're releasing a new fragrance.
Okay.
That's September, but yeah, that is coming up. So it's going to be like five fragrances. So, but now we have 4 fragrances in the sample kit, and I changed the whole sample, the package, and everything. I should have grabbed it. It's a bit far, but I'm gonna get it. So it's a very nice boxing, and we changed everything. It's beautiful. You love it.
Well, yeah, which is wonderful to me because the fragrance is great. And when I initially got it, like he just said, he did change it. When I got it, it came in a square box, really nice square box, and it has all of the details in it, and is about this size. As you see, this is not like a very small sample. You get a nice amount. I was able to spray this a couple of wears, and of course, I still have them because I'm still testing them out to figure out who is next for me. And I have so many bottles of them, you know, because you actually get when I bought the fragrance, you actually get another sample was in the box. So I don't know where marketing is going, if he's going to continue to do that. But please, if you are even at all ever interested, you have been hearing everyone talk about, particularly Rescent Man. Try it for yourself. Try it out.
Yeah.
Before we move into our very last one, what question do you have, Yellow Sense?
Well, I was going to try to dig more information about the new releases. So, Mark, stop me if we can't.
You can't discuss
so
it.
for the 5th fragrance that's coming up, is it a gourmand? Can you give us anything, just something tiny?
It's rose.
We won't spread it.
It's a rose fragrance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Easy rose, but captivating. Okay, you know, that kind of fragrance that you want to wear and just put your own self to bed. that sort of thing. That's how we created the fragrance. Like sometimes you need to also feel yourself sometimes, right? You can be in bed with your partner, but you know, it's just the fragrance that you wear that you just want to have yourself under the duvet, just you and yourself. It's a beautiful rose, I must say. I love it.
Okay.
And I know everyone
Hey,
loves it.
Well,
we're
yeah,
definitely looking
I'm
forward
looking
to that
forward.
one.
Yeah, I'm looking
So
forward to
the
that.
name
Let
is
me ask.
oh,
Go ahead.
It
okay.
has a name?
The name is Septembre. In French, it says Septembre. It's like 7th Street. That's the name.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
story
Cool.
I'll tell the story later about. Yeah, it's a secret.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm looking forward
So
to it. Okay. So
Yeah.
my
I have one
question.
last question.
Okay. Go
One
ahead.
last question, if you. So I know down on on Instagram, you have been traveling to different locations, and
Mm-hmm.
many stores have picked up your fragrance.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a chance, or do you plan, or are you planning? Are you in talks of bringing this fragrance to the American market?
Yes, I've been thinking about it, and to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was checking my stock and everything, and I realized that in about 4 months, I've shipped about 151 fragrances to the United States.
Okay.
So I mean, the
You
biggest
have a
one,
I tell you.
US is one of the big. United States is one of my biggest markets. Like they get the fragrances a lot. I think 151 to the United States. ABSOCUTE, La Carretera, and all that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking I'm still in contact with a few shops, but what I do and I love to do is it's not about having my fragrances in the shop that anybody
Mm-hmm.
can order from me, but I just love to have the relationship with the people behind the brand as well, the
Yeah.
retailers. So I do my best to travel there and meet them before I get you my products, because I need to know you. I need to know what you're doing, and we have to build that kind of relationship. It's very important because it's one of the strongest pivots of mystery modern mark. So anyone who's got that, who's a retailer, knows that I love to come around. I've been around there
Mm-hmm.
to meet them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So those shops I'm in contact with, we're just trying to find a same leverage or a same level when I can come to the United States and visit them. Then we start having them in the US. Yeah,
Oh,
but
that
I'm
would be
thinking
amazing.
like,
Well, that kind of moves into my question. My question for you was from development, which means that development of the mind, and you're thinking of the fragrance, to the product, the fragrance itself coming out. What does that timeline look like?
um, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is the process also helps. So it could be like a 3 month process. It could be like 6 months. It could be like a year. Something like the seventh Rui. When we were creating that fragrance. Okay, I'll explain the inspiration behind, because you just want to drag me in, Claudia. You want to drag me in.
I want to drag. I'm pulling you in.
You're
Yes.
pulling me together. So when we were creating that fragrance, you know, when you have the
Mm-hmm.
inspiration, it's here. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
there's something about fragrance creation that I tell people that you have to be 80% insane and
Mm-hmm.
20% sane to be part of the fragrance community or in
Yeah.
creating fragrance, because when you have the inspiration, when you have the desire to bring out a specific fragrance, until you get it, you will not done. And
Yeah.
it's like I don't know how I can express that to you, but I feel it. You know, like you just want it, and
Mm-hmm.
until you
Mm-hmm.
get there, you're not getting it. So when we were creating the seventh Rui, we kept trying. You know, I was like, no, this is not what I'm looking for. I said, no, this is not what I'm looking for. Not that.
Mm-hmm.
So on the seventh time, she brought, it's a lady. She brought a touch to it, and my emotions, my everything, every part of my body just was like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I gave the name Septembre or the Seventh Street is because I feel when you're creating a fragrance, it's like you are crossing different streets to look for a specific product.
Mm-hmm.
Until you
Okay.
get to that product, you're not stopping. It's like you want, let's say, a sweatshirt that has got mystery modern markers design. You go to the
Mm-hmm.
first street, you don't find the next. You go to the next shop, the next street, until you get it. So we got to the seventh street. That's where we stopped. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Then I'm going to give the name Septembre. That's 7th Street. That means it's made in France, so I have to bring a bit of French to it. And the 7th Street is where we stopped. So to coming back to answer your question, it depends. Sometimes like getting the name will be just a day. You like, you got it. But the inspiration, you have to keep writing. You need to meet people. You have to go to shops, try fragrances. You have to go back and forth to Grasse, which I go a lot. Go to other. Before I used to go to Hamburg, the Spice Museum a lot. Grasse, you visit other labs and everything just to try and get inspiration. So it takes something 6 months, a year, 2 months. But the most important thing is that if you have that inspiration, what do you want to give birth to? That's very important.
Yes. Gotcha.
Yeah. That is so true.
Yeah. So, Mark, will you be using the same perfumer for the 5th bottle?
I don't think I've got 4 perfumers.
Okay.
It's just only one who has made 2 of my fragrances. The other ones are different people that I work with.
Okay.
And those are my secrets anyway.
Okay, all right. So we won't dig any more deep into that because we know everything needs its secrets. Let's go into the last one. And even though I can never get this name right, I love this fragrance. it is help me out, Carretera. There we go.
Let's actually do this just because it's like a song. La Carretera.
Yes. I love this one. Okay. So I want to get into this one. This one here, it's the pineapple. Oh my God. But it's a different take on pineapple. I know a lot of people hear, oh, pineapple, and they think of all of these other brands, right? Don't think of those brands. This is the pineapple and black currant, and I am a patchouli lover, right? And it's the touch of floral. It's not heavy floral. It's a touch of floral. So it's that earthy but yet sexy patchouli, then the rose and the jasmine. And then again, you have a wonderful dry down. You have a gorgeous, so I will say, chef kiss to your perfumers. They are doing an amazing job. Thank you to your nose to be able to say, nope, that's not it. I'm not there yet. So your I am ready has become my I love. Okay. This one is amazing. This is amazing. Do you have that one? Oh, you are so welcome. You have that one? Yellow scent?
You know, me, I have scent FOMO. So when I smelled, I was like, chip, chip, chip. But this one, actually, I'll be honest, this is in my bottle. This was the first bottle I purchased. And when my brother smelled it, he was like, I am going home with your bottle. But for today, I was like, can I have my bottle that I...
Can I have it back, please?
Can I have it back, please? But I'm definitely looking... I might, because it was the first bottle I ever purchased from the house. And I personally love it. Love it. It's my favorite. And I've said it and I stick. It's my favorite pineapple scent. And I think, I don't know what gray amber smells like. I haven't smelled gray amber, but it's not that thick amber. So to me, it's like, it smells like an organic cocktail. Stuff like everything smells fresh. That's the only way I can explain it.
Like, I love it.
Yeah. So this one is this, and this can really, but this, Claudia, when I actually smell it, you're one of the people who come to mind. It's zen. Like it's
zen.
Your scent, yeah.
Oh, this is. I know. Everybody keep telling me.
Yeah. When I smelled it, I was like, let me see the female. This is Claudia.
That's Claudia, huh?
Well,
then again,
what? God.
Right, but okay, so that was the check of approval. I have to get it then, Don. I have to go get it. It is me.
Yeah.
This is my scent.
I was like,
that's your scent, La Carretera.
This is your scent, yeah.
Okay.
And I know Marcy has talked about this.
Oh, Marcy loves it. Marcy loves it. And she was the one, actually, to be truthfully honest, to kind of take people back. It was people from Instagram. So I would say this. People rant and rave about your fragrance, but to get it from, say, a marshmallow, right, who is someone who I look to, who has the best nose, or one of the best nose on here, and for her to listen to her talk about it, I was like, oh, I got to get it. But then I didn't know if I would want that one, so I took the step of getting the package, the sample pack. And that's where I made my
Mm-hmm.
mistake. Because if I would have just bought it off of hearing her, I would have bought it. But when I
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
packet, I fell in love with I fell in love with more than one of them.
Wonderful.
And I got to it's a pineapple for me. I love this one. So I love to
Well,
hear what was
this
your
one
thoughts behind
actually
this
has your
one?
name on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stamped.
Stamped. It
Mm-hmm.
is stamped, right?
You won't believe, when you have a friend and you get used to what they talk about and you
Hmm.
smell, and that's why I love fragrances because they just take you into
Yes.
this other world. So I know if I am 80 or 100 and I still have my swag and I smell this, I'll
Swag.
remember a time in
Swag.
my
A time
life
like
with
this.
Claudia. Yeah.
The
So,
time I met
so yeah.
Claudia. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
Okay, so Don, tell me about this one. What is the experience behind this one?
La Carretera is my favorite tune. It's one of my favorite songs from. I don't speak Spanish, but I listen to lots of Spanish songs
Uh-huh.
because it's got some calmness to it and easiness. I like that kind of feeling. I love the calmness,
Hmm.
easiness. So La Carretera is a song from Julio Iglesias,
Hmm.
and it's a song I've listened to it for over like it's been like 8 years down the line. Like I love that tune. So
Hmm.
when we were creating La Carretera, I had to travel from Amsterdam. We went to Graz, and when we were creating that, I told the lady that I think it lacks some spice.
Mm.
There's a spice I want to because she was done creating the fruit. We were done with the fruit, but I was like, no, I need something a bit spicy to it. She was like, I cannot help you. So there was this gentleman who lives in Germany, Hamburg.
Hmm.
So she introduced me to him, and he's fond of like creating spicy fragrances.
Hmm.
So I had to move from Graz to Hamburg to meet him, and we went to the Spice Museum together. And he was, when I like to learn, or sometimes I do forget about this fragrance, but I really love to learn and why and how and what.
Yes. Yeah, me
I
too.
love that
Yeah.
because I don't want to feel like a pig in the middle. Like when I go somewhere, people ask me a question about it, I'm like, okay. So we went there and we went to the Spice Museum. That was before the Corona, and we tapped into it, and I got a very everything that it would be helpful to the scent. So I've had to
Hmm.
come back to grass. So what hit me pretty well was that La Carretera in Spanish means road.
Okay.
The road that we travels on. So it is a travel. I traveled from Amsterdam to Graz, Graz to Hamburg, Hamburg back to Graz, then to Amsterdam. I was on the road. But when you listen to the guy's song, it talks about chasing a passion, chasing a love. Like he was
Hmm.
driving to his girlfriend's or his lover's house. It's too late, but he's not ready to give up. He is getting blinded by the lights from the car, other cars. Other cars are honking, but he's not giving up. He's driving straight to the woman because he misses the woman.
Yes.
And he has that passion for her. That he's not ready to let go. So I was like, okay, I had to travel all the way throughout this just to chase a specific scent. So
Hmm.
I mean, the story really relates, right? So I was like, no, I'm gonna give the name La Carretera. But something magical happened was that when we were creating over there in her house, I kept playing that tune.
Hmm.
So she was like, "You are really irritating me with this song." And I'm like, "You don't
Okay.
know." And I told her, "You don't know what I'm coming up with because this song is a perfume."
Yes.
And I think I found her to be strange, and she finds me to be strange as well, because the way she goes about things is different, and the way I go about things is strange. She thinks I'm strange as well. So after I said the
Hmm.
name of the fragrance is La Carretera. So okay, can you explain to me? And I gave her everything. So it's just my journey to chase a passion, to chase something I love in a
Hmm.
bottle. So
Yes.
I call La Carretera a bottle journey. So
Okay.
like a whole journey in a bottle, in a simple term.
Hmm.
And when you smell it, you get that feeling of grass, a bit of spice, Hamburg, a bit of
Hmm.
um, sweat, you know, something
Yes.
salty. You get that kind of
Yeah.
vibe because it's my sweat, it's my hustle, it's my travel that comes together. So that I'm getting goosebumps now. Like that is the whole thing. So it's my journey, coordinating my experiences all together in a bottle. That's La Carretera.
And that is amazing.
I appreciate it.
That is an amazing fragrance.
I
If
appreciate
you
it.
are coming in at the end of this has been an amazing live. You have to watch the rebroadcast and catch it from the beginning, right? And because we had an opportunity to talk with Don Mark and get him to explain what it is about a fragrance. And if you know me and you are one of my followers, you know that I pick fragrances based on an experience, a moment in life. I am not just willy-nilly out here just buying stuff because people say that it's the hottest ticket. It has to speak to my spirit. And
Yeah.
all of his fragrances have done that. So if you don't take my word for it, you don't take Yellow Scent's word for it, you watch this broadcast and you do not take Don Mark, then are you a frag head? That's the real question. You know. But
Yeah,
this has been an absolute blessing. So I'm gonna give us an opportunity to close this out. Yellow Sense, what are your thoughts?
I love your fragrances.
I appreciate it.
Guys, honestly, I can't say too much. I really love his fragrances.
I
I
appreciate
might personally own two, but definitely La Carretera and 360 will
Yes.
join my team.
it. I appreciate
But not only his fragrance, his experience, and Dan as a person. And I really thank you for being a bit transparent and
Yes.
teaching and supporting the community. One thing I would ask everybody is that with indie houses, with upcoming perfumers, build relationships with
Yeah.
them. And it really doesn't hurt saying a hello or trying to learn. You don't have to purchase there and then, but if you have questions, DM him, DM us, ask. Also, don't forget to watch my sister Claudia on YouTube.
Yeah,
And if
I
you,
watch it. I watch
if,
you on YouTube sometimes. I laugh. I just laugh. I just laugh.
yeah,
Oh,
and
thank
also
you.
Marcy, Marcy, I'm sorry, but I'm going to throw you out there because some of these fragrances work as a view. So, Marshmallow on YouTube, watch her. She
Yes.
has a video where she reviews all these fragrances,
Yes.
and I agree with her review 100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
shit.
So,
Okay. Do
and
you
watch
have
Suits because all the characters of Suits are in this bottle. Harvey, Michael, and Megan. Seriously, you'll understand why I'm saying that.
yeah.
But yeah, but
Okay.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
It's a
thank you. And
pleasure.
do you have any closing remarks, Don, to say to everyone? Also, can you incorporate where can they find your fragrance or how can they get it? Here in the States, or where is it available in a retail market?
In Germany, we beauty concept. In Oman, the names are a lot. In Turkey, in Luxembourg, that, a whole lot. In Nigeria, in Uzbekistan. I keep forgetting. I don't know. I've
You
got
can
a lot
think.
thinking about. But in the US, you can order online, and within 5 to 7 days, you receive it. DHL.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I'm using
I
the
agree.
DHL Express.
And
Shipping is fast.
I'm about to say that this is not one of those where it's going to take you 3 weeks, if not 2 months, to get it. You will get it. You order it, and you get what I enjoy. And I want to say this to you before we close out. I greatly appreciate your involvement in your shipment. The emails to say that it's on the way, if it's being delayed for whatever reason, if it was supposed to arrive at a certain time, there's an email that goes out and says, I know that there's been a delay, blah, blah, blah. It is your involvement in the fact that you are more than just the name, the person behind it, and you're pushing out a fragrance. This is your babies. These are your babies, and you
I
treat them
appreciate
like that until they arrive to the next person that's going to love it. You are right there on point delivery. And that says a lot because many brands do not take those steps. So that's amazing.
I love
that you do that.
VIP treatment, so
Yes,
thank
yes.
you because that's what we get.
Next time,
Honestly, that's
VIP.
Yes, yeah, it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I
But
appreciate
Yeah.
I don't want to extend this. And again, if you have come on at the end, this has been one of, if not the most amazing discussion. It's been very casual, very relaxing, and very informative. Please watch the rebroadcast. I'm gonna take a time for all of us, both, all three of us, to do a big smile. I asked if y'all could take a snapshot and post it in your story so that people can get, so people can hear about it here in the United States, so that we can get this brand to just blow up out here. You
you,
ready?
you
One,
Yeah, I'm
guys.
ready.
2, 3.